Right, I think that should be recording. Hi, Helen. Thank you for joining me today. So you've just qualified as an emotional health coach. You've just finished the 6-month training program. And I really appreciate your time today because you decided that it's, to come on and have a chat about your experiences. So do you want to just introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. So I'm Helen, now known as the teacher's coach, which is very, very exciting. Something that has all come about as part of my training. So I am an ex-teacher, I suppose you could say. Before I left to have my children, I worked. I've been a primary school teacher since 2000. Worked in schools across Kent and East London, which has had its ups and its downs. And I left. I didn't go back to teaching after I had my little boy. Teaching for me, yeah, there were some challenging situations towards the end of my teaching career, and I was quite keen to have a look for something different, but I didn't know what that different was. Obviously, I was going to leave to have my baby, and I practiced hypnobirthing, and that really completely changed me. It got me onto this whole mindset train. I discovered that there was a very different way of dealing with life and of dealing with situations. And my kind of turnaround then was I thought, oh, I had a light bulb moment. I'll retrain to become a hypnobirthing coach, which I did. And it was wonderful. It has been wonderful. And I still really enjoy teaching hypnobirthing. Then I decided to not go back to teaching, so I resigned from that, and made a business out of it. Then I got pregnant with my daughter, and I thought I need to do something. I want to still carry on, but what can I do in addition? Because I wasn't teaching online then, so if I'd had that brainwave, that would have been really a really good way to run. But I trained to in a way to be a postnatal doula in essence. I got into the weird and wonderful world of placenta encapsulation, which is amazing, and it's something that I absolutely love doing. And it was something I could really work around having two young children at home with me. Um, but yeah, something was always nagging in the back of my mind that there's something else that I want to pursue. I knew I've always loved working with people. I've always loved helping people. Always had a real passion for supporting teachers, which is something I was really good at that. I had really good feedback from the teachers that I worked with. So yeah, I wasn't quite sure. The hypnobirthing world is quite a busy world. There's lots and lots of amazing hypnobirthing teachers. And I just thought maybe there's something else. There's something else there. And then I came across your lovely self, and you had a challenge that was running that I signed up for, and I was just so hungry to get started. I had so many amazing light bulb moments during our time together. So it was really an absolute no brainer to sign up with you and to work with you.
That's brilliant. Thank you. So the hypnobirthing, this is such a natural progression, isn't it? I think I started out 12 or 13 years ago, whenever it was, using hypnosis for birth for my second birth, and then training, and then I've just had that development straight on. So it just feels right, doesn't it? It's such a natural progression. So what was your life and business like before you joined the program? So you gave us a little bit of brief history there, but and what was it that made you think, okay, so I've got my hypnobirthing, I've got my placenta business, but now I really need this? What was that thing, do you think?
I think, like you said, it seemed natural progression from the hypnobirthing and the hypnosis because I have that mindset work, and I know how powerful it is and how powerful it is towards supporting new mums and families to get rid of that fear and move beyond that to have a really positive experience. So I knew I wanted to do something in that field, which I think is what really appealed to me about the emotional health coaching side of things and women's health and working with women and the whole range of things and ways, just screamed potential for ways I could expand the business and essentially reach out and support more women in more ways. And what I also liked, as well as that, was the way that you have that side of the training, but also the business side. And that's something I'm a teacher. We didn't have business school training, so I've come out of teaching at a high level in my career. But I didn't really know how to set up a business, and the training that I had through my hypnobirthing and the placenta side was enough to get me started. But I've really never had my hand held and walked through some of the things that we've done, and it's really been transformational. The learning that I've experienced now, and it's been like, oh right, so I was doing things, but I didn't really know why I was doing things, and I was kind of winging it big time, and I definitely wasn't making progress in a way that I have done since working with you.
Oh,
Everything makes sense. I've got systems in place, and I'm like,
oh, fantastic. Thank you. So that why, that knowing why is something that's always been really important to me, rather than just being told to do something. I always have to know why. So does that help for you, the way that the program's laid out?
it's absolutely brilliant, because I think I had all the foundations with the emotional health coaching, and over that time I was able to kind of let all the ideas sink in, and also the ideas about moving back into the teaching world. There was a bit of resistance there from me to begin with, because I have had trauma from my experience. So doing the course with you has helped to release those feelings, and allowed this fantastic idea of getting back to supporting teachers, which is the root of my passion, what I love doing. I was able to unlock that, but I was also doing the business training. I was allowed, that gave me that time for that all to sink in, and for me to really own it. um, yeah, it really, really made a lot of sense. And then to see what I could then do, the steps I needed to take to start attracting my clients, and how to build my business in a more organized fashion. So before, I'm like getting pieces from here, I've done free challenges there, I've done various courses, which has given me little bits and bobs, but it's never given me the full picture.
Yeah, I think I speak to so many people that take a bit here and a bit there, and they try and patch everything together, but it makes life so much easier, doesn't it, when you've got a whole system to follow from start to finish.
And then
So,
having you there to fire questions to, or to feedback from the other coaches as well within the academy. I've learned so much from everybody, and it's so nice to be part of that tribe, I suppose you could call it.
yeah, they are a lovely bunch. We do attract a lovely bunch here, that's for
Yeah.
sure. So you said you were really hungry to get started after we did the challenge. Were there any reservations about joining?
You know what? I'm going to say this. It was the easiest money I've ever spent. I just didn't hesitate. I just knew, and I'm a bit of a thinker, and I sometimes, do have to weigh up the pros and cons and the pluses and but it just seemed to make absolute sense. It just clicked that, I was gonna, I was really busy at the time, with the placenta side of things, because that's kept me going during lockdown. Babies are always going to be born. That's been quite busy. But I knew that I would find time to do it, and I spoke to my partner, and we found time and made sure that, like telling you about my running this week, I've dedicated the time. Monday afternoons, that's my time. And so, I wanted it to happen, so I made it happen. So I think, if anything, there was a minuscule thing. How am I going to fit this in? No, I'm going to fit this in.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's quite easy to fit into your life, isn't it? And I think a lot of the work that we do is done in the background. There's a lot of time. Everything just settles and falls into place, doesn't it? It's not about sitting there and learning and going through exercises or videos and things as much. So can you tell us what the program has done for you?
As I said, I mentioned earlier, I really think it's one of the biggest things. There's so many big things, but it's helped me to release that trauma that I didn't really realize I had. I had this sadness about leaving teaching, because I'm so passionate about it. I walked past my son's school yesterday and saw the kids and the teachers in the playground, and there's so much I do miss about that. But it's helped to heal me and allowed me to move forward, and actually find that niche, find go back to almost to my roots of the things that I was really passionate about, and realize that I can make a big difference. And I'm already seeing that in some of the people that I'm starting to talk to at the start of this coaching journey, my potential future clients, which is really, really exciting. Yeah.
So did you feel when you started 6 months ago now, did you feel that this moment was possible, how you're feeling like now and the direction your business is taking?
I had no idea where it was going to lead me. And when you first mentioned, what about going, working with teachers, I was like, yeah, I could do that. But somewhere within me, I wasn't quite ready to take that on. And with me having my other side of my business, my baby business, I was, toying in my head, how am I going to make the two merge together? How am I going to tell my story about how this came about? But it's all part of my story, and actually, it makes complete logical sense. And I'd like to. I think now I'm going to have the two separate sides to the business, doing the coaching and the birth world, and then we'll see what happens. Yeah.
What was your biggest breakthrough moment or your biggest light bulb moment throughout the last 6 months? What's been the big wow moment for you?
There's been loads of light bulb moments. There really have been so many. I think probably the biggest was the day that I decided to own the teacher's coach and run with that. I think that was a really big moment. Yeah, I think all the pennies all seemed to just drop all at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think just getting out there, starting to speak to teachers, yeah, started to play around with a new website and really, really owning that was quite pivotal.
There is such a need right now, especially for professional support in this way. Not everybody wants to. I mean, coaching is available in all the, not just in education, but in all the organizations and corporates. They have coaches available, but not everybody wants to be coached within their organizations, and because it's such a personal topic. And so there is such a need for outside professionals to work in this area for sure.
I definitely agree with you, and that's something that I experienced on the other side.
Mm.
That lack of trust, that lack of confidentiality.
Yeah.
I had coaching and I was stung because of that. And I think definitely talking to people, that's something that's really stood out for them. That yes, they could get free coaching. Yes, they could join a yoga class at 3:45, but that's really not what it's all about.
Doesn't hit the nail on the head, does it? I mean, it's good, but yeah, people often need more. So at any point throughout the training program, did you find it hard? You mentioned earlier time, so you made Monday afternoons your time, but other than that, or was there anything that was hard throughout this process?
I think the process has just made everything so easy. I went through some, just weirdly, I went through some, well, as you know, some quite challenging situations that were told to do with my family. And it was when we were doing the resilience model of the emotional health coach training. And it was just unbelievable how the timing of that, it couldn't have been more perfect, because I was then able to use the learning that we'd just gone through and actually apply it in a real life situation, to support me through it in the most amazing way possible. So that turns, that was something that could have potentially been, that could have thrown me completely, because it was quite serious. But I didn't. It made me even stronger, because then I could reflect on what I'd learned with you, how I'd then applied that learning, and how it had positively impacted my emotional well-being and that of everybody around me, because it could have gone one of two ways, but I became stronger as a result of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so important. We can all talk the talk, but to walk it as well, and then actually be able to live it and model it and know it for your clients in every essence of the word emotional resilience is, yeah, absolutely fantastic. I remember that. You did very, very well. So did you ever think, oh, this is not for me? Why have I chosen to do this? That never.
Never. I think the only thing I wish I had a little bit more time to to let everything sink in. I'm a busy mum, and we were in lockdown. I've got 2 toddlers running around, and I was just so into our sessions. And then when our sessions are over, it's like bang, back into mum mode. But that's life, isn't it? And that's the beauty of what we do and what I'm going to go on to do. You know, it's work that can work around your family.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, that 6 month period, people often think about it needs to be the right time for me to take on any kind of learning or education. You know, that's not just to train as a coach, but your clients as well. People often think it needs to be the right time so I can dedicate myself to this. But actually, over a period of whether it be 8 weeks, which is our methodology, or whether it be over the period of 6 months, life happens,
Yeah.
doesn't it? And you really need to be able to manage yourself in order to be able to manage life. So yeah, that's a great example of that.
I think the training helps you to manage that. So if you are particularly busy, it's probably the best time to throw yourself in, because you will learn so much and you'll be able to ride those waves, you know, and everything will go a lot more smoothly, I think.
And getting rid of all that mind clutter, that unhelpful mind clutter, just giving it all a good clear out, is you get so much time and energy back just from doing that alone, don't you? Without the rest of it. So how would you describe, if you were to describe this process in a couple of words or one sentence or even one word if you can, how would you describe the process that you've been through?
I think it has been life changing. If you want one word, I think it really has. You know, for me personally, but then also for my business, and also for my family as well. I'm looking towards my both children being in school in September, when the world will hopefully look a little bit different, and I will have a lot more time to focus on this. But right now, I can manage the time that I've got, and make it work around my current circumstances. So yeah, it's completely changed me. I looked forward so much to seeing you every Monday, and you know, it was a brilliant way to spend lockdown. Yeah.
Well, so you know, as you just mentioned, we've just finished, literally just finished this last week of the 6 month training program. So you started, it was in September or towards the end of September. And if we think about what was happening, we had normal life momentarily, didn't we? For a couple of weeks, everything was semi-normal. And then we got into Christmas, and then we've had this lockdown period. And so you've done a large part of the work, like you say, in a kind of like with everybody around you. 2 young children as well. Mine are older, it's a lot easier when they're older, but yours specifically are under 6, if I am correct.
Yeah.
Under 5, yeah.
Yeah,
So that's quite that takes a lot of juggling and balancing. So how has that been?
yeah, that's been fun, and I've had the placenta side of things. That's always been fun. So sometimes I might have been working all night, then just finished with a client, and then I've come onto our calls. So been able to switch off between the different roles, take that hat off, carry on. My partner also took on a full-time job in January as well, so that's completely shifted the dynamics of the family. So yeah, it's amazing how you can manage things because you've got the skills, and I think that's what the emotional health coaching side of it teaches you, but also the business side gives you the tools and techniques to be able to manage things, and to not feel completely overwhelmed. Because I know I said to you at one point, one of my challenges was with my placenta clients, birth is really unpredictable. babies arrive just at the right time, just when they're ready, and sometimes I can be juggling all of that. I mean, this week I've had bookings, and trying to manage all of that side of the business. It just feels so much easier to manage. I've actually used lots of the tools and techniques from our business learning, to put that in place to help me manage my time and manage my clients and do the admin side. So it's amazing. If you want a job done, ask a busy woman. Is that what they say?
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. It's a real time saver, isn't it? It feels like it's going to be a lot because you need to dedicate that time, but actually the time you get back once you've got into it is absolutely huge.
What I think as well, Sarah, is you know, I'm looking forward to shifting gradually, potentially away from the placenta side of things, you know, as I build my business and move on, because I could really see this being something that's going to really take off. So I mentioned the placenta side of things, but that's my bread and butter, and it is a passion of mine. It really is. I absolutely adore supporting women. So I'm leaving that door open
Yeah.
for now.
You mentioned earlier that when you left teaching to have your babies, you'd had a little bit of a difficult time, and then you learned your hypnobirthing tools and techniques. They were amazing for you. You train. It's so amazing that you trained to be a hypnobirthing practitioner, and you've set your business up, and you've gone through from there. So when you came to us, you emotionally and mentally were in a good place. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
How would you compare? I mean, we will go through these ebbs and flows of life, okay? But when you came, you were like really a very strong and independent lady, okay? And so you've gone through this process. Has that changed in any way, shape, or form? Like from where, if you were to measure where you were at to where you are now, mentally and emotionally, your strength, has that changed at all?
Massively. You know, I'd put on a good smiley face. Having two very, very young children, very, very close together, had its challenges. And I'd say that there've been a few wobbles along the way. And I was probably coming out of a bit of a wobble, maybe a little bit of postnatal depression. I'm not sure, it was never diagnosed, but there was definitely anxious thoughts there. And I just feel a million times better about myself all round, as a mother, as a business owner, as a partner, as a daughter, as a friend. I just think it has helped in all aspects of life. So I think, whoever the clients might be, my clients will be teachers that I'll be looking after. It's not only going to impact their professional life, the work that we do together will impact every aspect of their life, which is something that's so important.
So what do you have planned next? What's going to be happening in Helen's world next?
So I've got a brand new website that's in the making, which I'm enjoying tinkering with. But in the meantime, I've set up a Facebook page, a Facebook group, which I'm building and enjoying building that community there. I'm running a challenge next week to attract more people, to let them know about the work that I do and how I can help them. So that's a week-long challenge to help to reset people's mindset and hopefully help them to set some goals and intentions for the year ahead. It aligns with the spring equinox, which many people view as the real new year. So I'm hoping that will be really beneficial for people, and just to let them know about me and my services, essentially. And then from there, I'm planning to offer my one-to-one support to teachers, which will initially be online, much the same way as this. And we'll take it from there.
Fantastic. So what advice would you give to someone who is maybe like you, they know there's something a little bit missing, whether that be from their personal life or their business life, and they've come across this program and they're kind of, I don't know, thinking like that? What would you say to them?
Book a call with Sarah. That.
Yeah.
I really would. I mean, I was already sold already, because it felt aligned. It felt exactly what I was looking for. And then having that chat to you over the phone just solidified it, and it was right.
Yeah.
I think when you meet potential clients, it's right. You've got the connection. You know that what you're offering is going to help them, and vice versa. So if there was any hesitation or any doubt, I'd book a call and just talk it through, just to make sure it's right for you.
Yeah, great advice. Okay, so if anyone's watching this now, Helen, and they're thinking, oh, I'd really like to know more about your program, what's your program called?
So my program is aimed for teachers, and I've called it Reset and Rise. And that's what I hope to do for teachers, is help them to reset their mindset, get them thinking along the right paths, and give them the tools and techniques to help them move from a place of uncertainty and doubt to a position where they can really, really fly and excel. So it might be teachers who are new teachers, maybe they're struggling with their training, maybe they're in a difficult school, Maybe they are slightly more experienced teachers who are looking for, looking to move up the ladder, but maybe they lack the confidence, and they need some support to give them lift off. Maybe it's older teachers, not necessarily older, but experienced teachers who are feeling a little bit jaded in the job. It's not the easiest job. Many people you talk to will say it's not like it used to be. And for some people, they might come to me to be supported through that and make a decision as to whether to stay in teaching or whether to actually fly the nest and maybe look down a different path.
So where you mentioned your challenge earlier, if I was watching this and I wanted to join your challenge, how do I find out about that?
Yeah, the easiest way is probably on my Instagram page, which is at I am Helen Wright, and then there's a little link there which will take you to a landing page which you can sign up to, or you can go directly through Facebook as well. Have a look on there, I am Helen Wright, or the free Facebook group is called Teachers on the Rise. You can find me there. I'm in the process of getting my new website up and running, so in the meantime I'm using my my birth email, which is helen@birthright.co.uk, and you can email me on there.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. It has been an absolute pleasure to work with you. We have had a riot. We've had a lot of fun, haven't we? It's always so exciting, like you say, to wait that next time we get that next session. It's always so good to see what we're going to uncover next. And it's been an absolute pleasure to work with you. And I'm so excited to see what's going to happen for you over the next 6 months, because although it's the end of the training, it's never the end. Once you're in, you're in. And, we support you as you get your business up and running and start seeing those clients. So I'm really, really excited to see that. Helen, thank you so much for your time today. So it's helenbirthright.co.uk for a website. It's I am Helen Wright on Insta and Facebook. And your Facebook group again, if you can just repeat that for me.
Teachers on the Rise.
Teachers on the Rise. If anyone, you've got a challenge next week.
Yes, you can. Okay.
Brilliant. All right. So thanks so much for your time, Helen.
Yeah.
I'll speak to you again soon.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much, Sarah. Bye.